There's a little draft at the top.
That water.
Sorry. Might stop to be a little bit headachy.
Is that a mistake? I don't know, it could be coming from outside. I don't know. Yeah, coming from outside. It's coming from outside, definitely. If you are here, and you can see us and feel us, could you please come forward and let yourself be known to us? We're not here to harm or disrespect you in any way. My name's Stuart, and gentlemen at the stand called Nick. And also...
As you can see, we are following the action at the Ashton Memorial via the webcams. Stuart and Nick are now calling out. They're conducting a two-person vigil inside the memorial. We'll keep you posted if anything happens. Kieran is with our audience member Alison. He's obviously more involved in the scientific assessment of the situation at the Ashton Memorial, the temperature, any disturbances. If you see anything on our webcams, you are the only people watching as far as we know. We can't cover everything. We need your input, please. Keep in touch with Most Haunted Live. Yvette and the team are returning to the Winter Gardens Theatre in Morecambe. Who knows what stories they'll bring back with them. More after this. Hello and welcome back to Most Haunted Live and the final part of our 6th night of an unprecedented 8 nights of paranormal investigation. We have based ourselves here inside the Winter Gardens Theatre in Morecambe, and what a majestic building this is. And one man has been conducting on our behalf a solo vigil, and he joins us now, very brave man. We picked him earlier on. It's Wayne Garbutt, ladies and gentlemen, from York. He was here with his wife Karen. He's with us now. Hello, Wayne.
Hello.
What was it like? What did you sense during your solo vigil? What did you feel, if anything?
Well, when they say it's pitch dark down there, it really was. As soon as Helen had left me with a torch, it was just dark. And for the first 2 or 3 minutes, it was okay. And then about 3 or 4 minutes into it, I could feel a temperature drop just on one side of me, to be honest with you, off to the left. So that obviously drew my attention over there. And then within 10 minutes of being there, I could sense there was somebody around me, and if you see the video, I felt that the person was moved, or whoever it was, had moved around to the back of me, and I felt a definite brush at the back of my head, and it made me jump forward. And,
okay, it's a very positive interaction.
Oh, absolutely.
Wayne, let's take a look at just some of the highlights of your time for us on that solo vigil, and we thank you for your courage. Look at this.
I'm here on my own. If there's anybody here, please make themselves known to me. Something just to the left of me, I feel there's a presence to the left of me all of a sudden. There is definitely somebody next to me now. There's a shuffling. There's a shuffling just behind the counter, right hand side. Oh. It's amazing how cold it has just suddenly become. I don't know if you can see behind me, just to my right hand side there. Oh. I have got a searing pain in my back of my right hand shoulder, as if somebody's wanting to push me down.
Thank you, Wayne, and we'll be letting Kieran O'Keefe analyse that footage when he returns. Right now, though, let's catch up again for the final time this evening with Dr. John Callow, historian, and demonologist Fred Batt. John, you first. Have we got anything on that name, Southerns, that Brian thought may have cursed people who looked at executions and maybe was present in spirit with the team tonight?
Well, Elizabeth Southern is the one, the only old Demdike, so she's the originator of the whole story, really, the main figure of tonight's show.
And that was the face of evil that Brian thought he captured, Fred.
That's right. Also, Chris picked up Alison. Alison Device was the granddaughter of old Demdike. So that's another good connection there.
An interesting night scientifically, but also how was it as far as the spirit information, do you think, that came through? We had a lot of very precise information, including those runes.
Well, the runes, the only one I could really find was the last one, which is the thorn, which is the rune of non-action. The thorn calls you to pause and contemplate before passing through the gateway, and you're ready to meet with the divine force. So that was quite interesting, as if they were going to go through to the next part. You know?
As of course many people would have sadly on Gallows Hill. Thank you for the moment.
Right,
thank you, Fred. Thank you, John. Let's now turn to find out what you've been sensing tonight, courtesy of Julian Clegg and his interactive team. Julian.
Thanks, Paul. 8 webcams on 8 shows this week. Extraordinary response again tonight. And just to sum up what people have been saying about the first 4 webcams at Three Mariners. On the first webcam there, the public bar, a woman stood behind the bar, a male voice whispering and then laughing. On the second webcam in the cellar at the pub, a man with a dog. And the other interesting thing on that one was the kegs moving. We had quite a few reports on that. And on webcam 3 in the restaurant, lots of orbs on the tables and chairs moving as well in the restaurant there. And in the ladies' toilet, webcam 4 earlier in the evening, a woman's voices whispering and asking for help. Thank you for all your input on those first 4 webcams at the Three Mariners. Now let's go to Ashton Hall now and look at the webcams there right now and what you've been saying. The 5th webcam tonight, the first floor webcam, let's look at that. A woman called Edith was the theme of the evening, and also a cloaked figure on that webcam. Webcam 6 on the ground floor, and there you are, you can see the team there. And the theme of the night, groups of figures circling the team and a dark male figure by the door. Webcam 7 also on the ground floor, bringing that one up there, and you can see some of the team there at the end of the investigation. A dark female figure crouching by one of the cages as the theme of the evening, and a male figure following the team tonight. And webcam 8 in the basement, and there you are, you can see Kieran and our audience member there on their vigil. 2 figures staring at the webcam, apart from these 2 I might add, and black mist swirling on the floor as well. So thank you for that. And I'll leave you some final thoughts from Interactive tonight. Lots of concern about the team going into the Faraday cage. Big response about Kath and Carl, of course, this evening. And the signs in the flower, you're saying, are evidence of the Pendle Witches. This is a recurring theme on the show tonight. Thank you for all your input. Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Julian. Well, it's been a remarkable night tonight. Not 1 but 2 visual locations and our most dangerous experiment ever, involving 750,000 volts of electricity. I'm amazed they've all made it back in one piece, but apart from Kieran, who is still at the visual location they have, let's make them welcome Yvette Fielding, Carl Beattie and the rest of the team. Well, the stakes keep getting higher and higher. Kieran is there, probably didn't expect to be, and our audience member Alison. Stuart is there as well, but you were there in the firing line with Matt. What was that like, Carl? You've been through some stuff for this show, for this operation. What was that like?
I have to say that was one of the best experiences I've ever had in hindsight. Beforehand, it's so scary because you know there's 750,000 volts going to hit you square between the eyes. You have this great safety check beforehand, but it makes you realise how dangerous that experiment actually is. And when you're standing there in those cages, I noticed Matt ran to the biggest cage.
And quite right too.
Well, yeah, I was a little slow on that, but no, it was great to do. A fantastic experiment. The things you see when that's hitting you, their images come to your mind. And
such as what, Carl? What were you seeing?
You're seeing dark shadows, you're seeing faces, you're seeing... I mean, I sort of went, wow, at the beginning, because the first time it hit, there were just these images, these hooded figures there, and it's bizarre. And if indeed we have created more energy, then that's supposed to be what creates paranormal activity.
Now, it should go without saying, I'm going to say it anyway, obviously people should not attempt any electrical investigations on their own. That was done under strict health and safety guidelines. Don't attempt anything even remotely approaching that in your own home. What was it like for you, Yvette, though, seeing him in there?
I
know he